Okay, we are in Sefer Yehoshua over here. I don't know what's going on with my Zoom. It's not working, so I think we're going to have to try doing this from now on. I don't know exactly how this is going to work, but we'll try. We're in Sefer Yehoshua. We're in Perek Ches, and we're going to start with Pasuk Vav. Try to do a screen share over here. Okay. I think it's working. I don't even know if you could see other people in this. But here's the screen. Okay. Pasuk says like this. Hope this is recording the screen. It's my first time doing it. Pasuk says, "Vayishalchim Yehoshua vayelchu." So Yehoshua sent them out, and then they went. El Hama'arav, they went to the place where the ambush was going to be. This is talking about that they went to Ai. This is battle number 2 against Ai, and so they went over there. They went for the battle number 2. Okay. Plus, it continues and says, I don't even know what's showing over here. I have no clue what this is showing. Okay. Try to do this. I don't know if I share the screen, could you still see my face? It's an important thing. I have no clue what's going on over here. Okay. Anyways, Pasuk says, "Vayishalchim Yehoshua vayechul amarav," that Yehoshua sent them off, and they went to the place of the ambush. Vayishvu bein Beis El bein Ha'ai miyam Lai, and they sat in between Beis El and in between Ai, from the west of Ai. Vayolin Yehoshua balayla huhu b'toich ha'am, and Yehoshua he slept at that night among the nation. Let's stop over here and already just analyze this first pasuk, because there's actually a decent amount going on over here. All right, the Radak Vayolan Yehoshua b'laylahu. The Radak begins over here, and he says, "What does it mean that he slept among the nation?" Be'emsa hamachane lon b'laylahu kedei lazarzim kulon lahashkim abayker v'lalochem ochama. Yehoshua specifically slept among the Jews on that night in order to warn them to all get up early in the morning and to wage the war. That's basically what's happening over here. Make sure that it was successful. He's taking them. It's like the boss, so to say, who is around when all of his workers, right? So he's going to make much more of an impact in terms of getting his workers to listen and the like when they're there, as opposed to when he's not there. Make more of an impact. He's around. He's willing to see more. Anyways, the Ma'am Loez has a few important comments over here. Ma'am Loez writes, he didn't want to just sleep in a 5-star hotel over here, so to say. He specifically slept with them because at a time when everyone else is in pain, he didn't want to accustom himself with a lot of comforts. He wanted to pain himself also. Furthermore, he wanted to strengthen them. All right? So that's also important. Stay among them and strengthen them. Furthermore, in order to fulfill the mitzvahs of Hashem, who told him, take everyone with you to war. So he's fulfilling a mitzvah over here. All right. You don't want to separate from them even at night. Also, you wanted to be ready immediately in the morning. Those are a few reasons why he specifically slept with everyone else. Okay. Oh, whoops. Doing the wrong thing. Okay, I think you might comment on this. If not, we'll get it in another pasuk. No, that's going to be the later pasuk. We'll come back to that Yud Gimel. Maybe it was this, and he commented on this. Yeah. So the Mishpah Zahav comes along over here, the Mishpah Zahav, and he says he didn't sleep by himself, Yehoshua, that night, like we said before in the 5-star hotel. He didn't sleep like a king, like a general. He slept with everyone else. Right? So let's come back to the Mishpah Zahav as we continue. Let's continue with the psukim over here. Next pasuk says, Yud vayashkim Yehoshua baboker. Yehoshua got up early in the morning. Vayifkoid esa'am. He inspected the nation. Vayalhu v'ziknei Yisrael lifnei ha'amai. And him and the elders of the Jews went in front of the nation by eye. Imam always already says, pasuk over here is teaching us Yehoshua got up very early in the morning. With zrizos, with a quickness in order to fulfill the mitzvah that he had to do. And he counted them, because that's what normally happens. You count your soldiers before you go out to war, even though they were previously counted. Maybe some left for other reasons, so he recounted them. Furthermore, he wanted to make sure, Yeshua wanted to make sure that they were mentally, psychologically prepared for this war as well. That is the idea with Yehoshua. That is Pasuk Yud. The Mitzudos comments on this pasuk and says, "Heshkiach bahem im heim muchanim l'milchama." He was looking at them, seeing if they were prepared for war or not. That's the Mitzudos learns this. Let's go back to pasuk Yud Aleph. V'kol ha'am ha'milchama asher ito alu, and all of the nation for the war that was with him, they went up with him. V'yikshu v'yavo neged ha'ir. They approached and they came by the city of Yachnu mitzafon la'ai, and they slept to the north of Ai. The Haggai and the valley, Beino or Beinov u'Bein Ai. And the valley between them was in between them and Ai. So there was a valley in between over there. This actually has a lot of significance regarding this valley in between them. Basic idea is that Yehoshua put himself in danger, and still he did this. We'll see more about that. Pasuk Yud Beis Vayikach, and Yehoshua took Vayikach Chameshas Alafim Ish. He took around 5,000 people. Yasim Oisam Oiriv Bein Beis El Ubein Ai Miyam Le'ir. And he put them, made an ambush between Beis El and between Ai. He made an ambush over here from the west of the city. So this is the ambush that we previously discussed, and that's what he did over here. Pasuk Yud Gimel. Vayasimu ha'am es kol hamachana asher misafon le'ir. This is talking about that he readied the nation, everyone in the camp, from the north to the city. V'es kevo miyam le'ir. And the ambush party was towards the west of the city. V'yilech Yehoshua b'laylahu b'tocha emak. Yehoshua went on that night within the valley. This is actually going to have a lot of discussion on this pasuk over here on Yud Gimel. The Mitzudo says, "V'yasimu ha'am atzmo hezminu l'mochama es hamachana, v'gam hezminu es ha'kavav hu'or." We prepared everyone. That's what that means. The Radak has an explanation. He slept in the valley over there. Kloimer halachu v'achareya imo betocha imak shemachna Hashem liroshom yemachna imim amar Yishem impein yotzu anshia I pitom aleim b'hakum. He went into that valley over here. That's what we're saying. He wanted to see and make sure everything was good. And it could be that the people of Ai will come and wage war against them immediately, and it would be a dangerous situation. So you see really how much Yehoshua sacrificed by this. Rashi quotes the Chazal. The Gemara in Sanhedrin says, "Lon be'umko shel halacha." He slept in the depths of halacha. It's a play on words. Emek, umko shel halacha. Emek is a valley. Umko could also mean depth. Imam Loei's comments over here. Yehoshua was very strong about this. He put himself in a sakana gedol, in a dangerous situation. Why? Because he had bitachon in Hashem. He believed in Hashem. This is the explanation of the Ma'amoes. The Metzilus and Nevi'im, the Mishpah Zozav already asks, Taisvus asks a question on this Gemara. What do you mean? This already happened. This whole story, there was an angel with the withdrawn sword rebuking Yehoshua that they didn't learn Torah. That already happened in a previous battle with Yericho. So why is he trying to learn Torah over here? Basic answer is over here. He realized that this is a time when there's judgment. And he said, I got to fix myself over here. He wanted to increase his merits. He learned from his mistake, basically, explains the Nitziv in his Merum Yisad. The Mishpah Zozav is quoting all of this. Basically what he says over here. Mesilas and Nevi'im has an insightful idea over here. He says we can learn a tremendous lesson from this Kol Chad Lafum Darga delay, everyone according to our own level, regarding the obligation of learning Torah al Choivus Halimud V'Hais Amkus Bekol Matzav Shehi, and learning with depth, no matter what situation we're in life. That's what we could learn from this over here. Bekol Tirdo Sheba Oilam Lo Yevatlu Oisoi Mechoik Limudu Davar Yom B'Yomo. All of the burdens in the world shouldn't nullify us, prevent us from learning the set amount of Torah that we learn daily. This is both true regarding the quantitative amount of Torah that we learn and qualitative amount of Torah that we learn as well. Klaimar meaning to say, in other words, this teaches us how careful we need to be when it comes to learning Torah, keeping up our goals quantitative and qualitatively, no matter what the situation is. Like it says, we have to learn with depth, in deep. He brings a story over here, someone who wasn't able to learn, he found a spot under a table that was covered by sheets because it was like a construction site. They found him learning over there. The idea is we have to learn in any situation that we're in. That's what we see from this. Yeah. Continuing in the Psukim, I'm going to pick it up with Yud Dalet over here. Vayehi. And it was Kirois Melech Ai, when the king of Ai saw Vayimharu Vayashkimu Vayetzu Anshi Ayir Lakros Yisrael Lamalchamo. And it was that when the king of Ai saw, he went quick and he got up early, and he went, the people of the war, to greet the Jews for the war. Him and the entire nation. Lamoed at the appointed time. Lifnei Harava, before the plain. Vuhulo Yodo Ki Oirev Loi Ma'achrei Ha'ir. and he didn't know that there was an ambush for him behind the city. So in other words, they fell for the trap. Lamoid, the Metzudas Yutz, and Lizman for the time. Also continues, Tezvov Vayinogu, which it seems like the shorish of this word is nago, which means to touch. But the way that it's being translated, we'll see in a moment. Vayinogu Yehoshua v'kol Yisrael lifneim, v'yanusu derech hamidbar. That there was Vayinogu, and we'll just translate the word. We'll see in a moment. It means that they were beaten. So Yehoshua and all the Jews, they beat them in front of them. Vayanuchu, vayanusu derech hamidbar, and they ran in front of them over here. Now, we really should take back how we just translated this. Not that Yehoshua beat them, but rather Yehoshua and all the Jews were beaten, so to say. It's as if they lost, right? That was part of the plan. Let's take a look at this word inside. Lashon naga, Rashi says. It's like, or nega, right? Heru atzmum ki'iluhim negafim avim. They made it seem as if they were getting beaten in front of them. The Jewish people, Yehoshua. Metzuda says the same thing. Where Chalamer Mukim and Nachash, and they made it look like they were just weak. They couldn't do anything over here. Right? So Radak is going to say the same thing. Fine. So that's basically what's happening over here. The Pasuk says, "Vayizaku kol ha'am asher ba'ir lirdoi fachareihem." Or this actually isn't ba'ir; it gets to ba'ai, gets changed. Vayizaku. Yizaku, they shouted out or something. Vayizaku, mustered up. See the Metzudas how he learns this word. Niskabsu mezaka samasif. They all gathered together from the yelling of the person who was gathering them. There's someone yelling out, "Gather together, gather together." Vayizaku kol ha'am asher ba'ai. And they all gathered together. All of the nation that was denied to run after the Jews. Vayirdifu achra Yehoshua. And they ran after Yehoshua. V'yanatku mina'ir. They were drawn out of the city successfully. No one remained in the city that didn't run after the Jews. They left the city when it was still open. And they ran after the Jews. All part of the plan coming true. In other words, it worked. Okay, so we will stop here. Continue on the next one.